Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome in the light, where laughter's the answer and hearts are shining bright. With calloused hands and wits, so raise your sharp. Let's praise a place where love ignites the spark.
Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Sunnyside. You know what happened earlier this week? I was at the lumberyard over in Garner. That's where I like to go, and what was I? I don't even remember what I was buying. It was something very important, though, that I needed to have. It'll come to me later. Anyway, what was important is that I ran into Adam Upmeyer, who was the owner of Garner Lumber and Supply, and he said, "Hey, I like when you have your show on. I like it. I like it better when you talk to other people. That's more interesting, I feel." And I was like, "Whoa, this is good criticism coming from a longtime listener." And so I'm going to take his advice. And I'm like, "Hey," I got home, I texted him. I'm like, "You know what would be great is if you came in and told your story, because I find it very interesting." And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Sunnyside, Adam Upmeyer.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what happens if you open your mouth up, I guess.
That's what. Yeah, it was. I feel it was like a little bit of a cry for attention. You wanted to be,
sure. I was,
like,
begging.
How do I get on that show? And it's really easy.
I've been here a couple times. I look in the door. I'm like, man, that's an amazing place. But he never once invites you in that door.
Right into the studio.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
You look at it, kind of a look. Don't touch.
There's even a light. There's a light outside. I just turned it on. We've been recording for a while, but you can't see it in here. We know we're recording, but now when the kids walk in, they see the red light on. They know Dad's recording. They actually are pretty good on that. Like they are. They don't. The basketball bouncing, like you would hear that, and so they're pretty good about that. And then they'll wait till I turn it off. You can usually hear them come in, and then I know.
Then you flip it on quick.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Garner Lumber did a good majority of what we've got in here, except, the building was an EPS building, but we went through them, got the window trims, which were awesome. They just snapped in, and they worked. They looked great, and I could do it, which was fun. And just all kinds of stuff that I've been building, like I've been telling the listeners about. I mean, it's not too big of a stretch of time before the Garner Lumber Supply truck stops by and drops some stuff off.
It's a good trip to Forest City most every time you call.
Yeah, that's good.
We appreciate it. And
yeah, I
don't know. We're always trying to help when we can, but people like you know what you want, and you kind of make a list up and actually have a tape measure, so you won't make a good contractor anytime soon.
No, it's all in my head.
You got a tape measure, and you know the plan.
Yeah, but I got a plan, and it's not. And I'm able to modify that plan too. So
see, if nobody knows it's on paper, then you can say,
"That's right.
That's actually how that chicken house is supposed to look."
I don't have to answer to an architect because I am my own architect, and I don't know if that's always a good thing, but it seems to work out so far.
On the school project, we had to.
We did have to actually get a licensed architect for that since it's like a public building. You're right.
To make the same exact plan.
Yeah. Went with Garner Lumber to get the materials for the two press boxes that we built last year for the baseball and softball field at the school. So lots of good deliveries there. And
we got a lot of good support from Forest City.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it'd be great if you had your own lumber yard, but
yeah,
that's the dying case in rural kind of Iowa here. I mean, once they're gone, they're gone.
How did you become a lumberyard owner?
Well, I did construction for years, and then I got a call from a buddy that had a he managed a lumberyard in Ames, Iowa.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, wouldn't you be an outside salesman? You'd be a great outside salesman for us in northern Iowa." And I'm like, "Well, how's that going to work?" And he said, "Well, we can get you a truck, get you a salary, and you just go out and we'll once a day commit a delivery to North Iowa and whatever." And so we did that for 2 years, kind of in a downturn in 2007-08. And
and
they at one point kind of said, "Hey, we're going to put you on straight commission. That'd be about $12,000 a year with what you're selling.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's going to be tough to sustain. The lifestyle we got going here with $12,000 a year. So
straight commission, you earn exactly what you're worth. That's hard to say because I've done that, and you find out
the other way where it's like I'm working hard. I believe I'm doing the right thing, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
the commission thing is kind of makes sense. So
yeah.
So at that point, I think I got my radon mitigation license, and then I started doing that for a couple of years. And then Max Yield Cooperative in Garner had a opening for a lumberyard manager, and I kind of on a whim applied for that. I had a couple of years experience in sales and that kind of thing in the lumber industry, and got that job and managed that for 4 years. And it was moderately successful for me. I mean, I enjoyed that and it worked good. And September of 12, they had a fire that destroyed their main warehouse, like an 80 by 160 building.
Mm-hmm.
That neighbor's garage caught on fire, and it was very close to it back in the co-op board days. They're like, oh yeah, you can put your garage 4 inches from our shed. That's
really?
So his caught on fire, got underneath the overhang, and lit that building up. And it melted vinyl siding on houses around the whole thing. This is
full of lumber. Kiln dried lumber.
Yep.
And shingles. Oh man.
Like we'd pull shingles out of there, and they were in no pallet, 1 brick.
Yeah.
Just melted to a square.
Oh my gosh.
And so Max Yield took good care of us. They professed for a few months that they were like, hey, we're going to rebuild. Mm-hmm. And we had lumber in all sorts of tiny little buildings that they had around there. So you're backing a truck in and putting 12-foot lumber on because you're in a 10-foot door and you can't get in and out and whatever. And then all at once they decided, you know what, we're focusing on grain agronomy and energy, and lumberyard's kind of the redheaded stepchild that they got when they acquired Garner or Max Yield and Garner.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going to be out. And I think there was kind of a outcry by some patrons and whatever, like, you promised we'd keep a lumberyard here, and now you're out. So they made my wife and I a heck of a deal on a piece of property outside of Garner, which is on the highway.
Yeah.
And said, hey, why don't you guys run this, and we'll make sure you get into there. And so they sold this property for, I would say, way under market value.
Yeah.
It had a steel building on there, which wasn't ideal for that, but we moved it to the back for storage.
Okay.
Built a new building, and I don't know, July of 13, they let us work at Max Yield right up to the day. And so any door orders or window orders that came in to Max Yield, then those got billed to the customer through Max Yield, and they paid. And then on July of 13, they said, it's all you. And so we moved.
Really?
Yeah. So,
okay, that's kind of it's hard to keep a lumberyard open in a small town like you had alluded to earlier, and Forest City, population wise, a little bit bigger than Garner, but doesn't have a lumberyard. Had one for years and years, and it changed hands. It was Southtown for a long time, and then it was Ace or something. I don't know what it was, and then something else, and then it was gone. And then I don't know if Algona is. I don't know. There was different owners for like 2 or 3 times, and it was just gone. I think, and then, there's a lumberyard up in Lake Mills, and I guess there's one in Thompson or something. I don't know for a fact. I guess I've never been there, but like, Garner's Garner's the closest lumberyard, the way I look at it. And I've never had any complaints with anything that I've gotten from you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd let you know. It's my show. Yeah.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
No, there's a decent lumberyard in Britt.
Okay.
Lake Mills has got a nice lumberyard. Garner, I don't know if Thompson's still open or if they closed.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think that guy was retirement age, and I don't think anybody took it over. I can't remember how that worked. But I mean, in my recent lifetime, I mean, there was a lumberyard in Belmont that's gone now. There was a lumberyard in Clarion that's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
1 or 2 other ones in Clear Lake. Obviously, Forest City here. So
what is it? Is it it's the same, it's very similar materials for every lumberyard.
Yeah.
And dimensional lumber, and then
I think we have less contractors. I mean, it's just, I kind of look at that, and, our sales have been down the last couple of years, and it's going to be a slower economy anyway. And you just look at it and you're like, well, that guy retired and that guy retired, and we didn't really fill anybody back in the slot, when these guys take up, they move to follow their kids or they do whatever, and they're just, I don't know. It hasn't filled back in. I mean, Stellar and IMT are amazing customers for us in Garner, and they're both local things that, are kind of like your Winnebago here. They keep these towns going. Yeah. And we can't, if either one of those guys falls off the map, Garner looks pretty rough.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're amazing. And Stellar's really branched out to other communities, in Kanawha and Mason, and probably more than I even know. But they're fabulous for us, getting stuff out to them, and we try to take great care of them, and they take good care of us. And it kind of, everything with a small town thing has to be a two-way street. If it doesn't work for Troy Thompson to get materials from us, then you're going to do it once, but then the next time you're going to go, well, where am I going to go?
So why do you think there are fewer contractors? I guess I'd never thought of that before, because it seems to me like, well, there's always lots of small contractors, but maybe there aren't. I guess try to count them on, who do you know locally, and it's the bigger contractors that everybody knows, and they're bidding, schools and big projects and residential to some degree, and then why did that happen? Why are there fewer contractors?
I did it for 10 years. I built some spec houses in Garner and had a crew of sometimes 4, sometimes 8. Yeah. That's a lot tougher job than anybody gives it credit for, as far as trying to corral these guys. And if you look at, construction employees in general, they're not always the easiest guys to work with. They've kind of got some opinions and personalities that don't always go together with each other. And so having a crew of 6 or 8 guys, you got 2 that are mad at somebody else and they don't want to work on that job. They've got a better way to do it than you did. And it isn't always a perfect scenario, of course. And that's probably with any employees. But I just think, employees coupled with insurance and liability and
equipment costs.
Yep. Everything kind of just piles up. And then at some point, a contractor says, is this a good plan for me, or should I be working somewhere else where I can get insurance, or, so that's where I think the, Dean Snyder's and Kinglands and those kind of things shine, when you've got big companies that can have insurance and benefits and things better than a small guy can provide sometimes. Yeah.
That's, if you do, and I think it's true in any business. If you do a good job and you're good with customers, but you still have to go, and you have to have some sales experience to be able to, get the jobs. Right. And so it takes a while to build a recommendation. But if you find a good carpenter or plumber, electrician, you name it, people do recommend, we recommend people that we like and think have done a good job by us. And even if it costs a little bit more, if we're satisfied, then we feel like that's a good thing. So you're saying it's not necessarily the big box stores, your Home Depots and your Menards, and they're a presence.
Feel like they're horrible competition for us. The people that are going to buy from us are buying probably not because we're the best deal. They're buying. They want quality and they want service, but they do support local. And
well, I can tell you when I buy, let's say, I don't know what you call a big old stack of 2x4s or 2x6s, like I did, a couple weeks ago or whatever. It's probably longer than that now. I have a tendency to take forever on jobs. Maybe it's like a month ago, but I had delivered the whole, however many 2x6s I ordered, and they come in a big old bundle. It's probably 150 or whatever, something like that. Maybe. Huh?
189 is a unit, so maybe that's
okay, something like that. And it was. They're banded together, and then if everybody knows this, if you go to the bigger stores out there that everybody knows, the Lowe's, the Home Depots, the Menards, or whatever, you're throwing lumber around trying to find a straight board and all of that. And so when I pop the band on these 2x6s, they don't spread apart and getting all kinds of occasionally that happens. You'll get something that might, turn a little bit, but that's what people are buying. Like, they want straight lumber and they want to be able to take it and build with it. And it looks good and does what it's supposed to do. And you don't have to spend all that time sorting through lumber I heard
we can pick grades. I mean,
Yeah.
we pick, all my lumber that I order has got to be premium or HQ, they call it. It's like, hey, they're like, well, stud grade would be this much or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in.
Yeah.
I don't get all jacked up over what a unit of lumber costs. We adjust pricing as we order it. I mean, we're small time, so we're not buying semi loads of lumber at a time. We might get a third of a semi that comes in, but it's 2x4s, it's a unit OSB, it's foam, it's whatever comes on that. And most of our vendors come at least twice a week, sometimes 5 times a week if we want.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stock tons of it, and I don't have room to keep it all inside.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you have a newer
thing. Mine's inside, and
you got a newer building though because of the fire. That worked out.
Yeah.
And I mean, not for what I mean, but it did. I mean, if nothing else, I don't know what was there before, but I mean, you had been there, so you're like, well, if we're going to build a lumberyard building, here's how it should be laid out.
Oh, we had some 12-foot doors, and we had odd alleys and whatever. I'm like, we're not doing that. We're doing it this way, and we're doing it that way, and more pressure than I thought when we started. I was like, well, I'm just going to build a lumberyard. And I was like, well, now I got a chance to screw it up. Before I had this other building that was already here, and I'm like, well, we could make this work, or we could make that work, and so.
Yeah, it's convenient to, drive through and have your stuff. The thing about what you guys do is like I call ahead because I've learned that if I just show up, I mean,
you pull in and Denise hasn't known that you're coming.
We'll hold
Denise.
We'll get it, but it's if I call ahead, because I'm in Forest City, so if 20 minutes away, if I call ahead and just say, hey, you have this? Oh, that's what it was. I had to buy Sackcrete. That's what it was. Quickcrete. Because I was building the fence. Yeah.
Sometimes you call ahead and then it's like 3 hours because I think you get sidetracked.
I do get sidetracked.
Well, where's he at?
He's coming. I'll be there eventually today. Yeah. And then you guys load it and it's all ready to go. And that's just the best thing too. Because I don't know if people are aware of this. Probably not a lot of people have been to these other stores like, these smaller companies like Home Depot, and Menards or whatever. But like if and I'm clearly not monetized or sponsored by any of these businesses, because I feel like if you go to Home Depot, they purposely
scatter.
I see people working there and they walk by, and if you're like in a lumber part, maybe picking up, up some pieces or whatever, and they see you, they almost like look away and then was Frankenstein walk as fast as they can away from you, and you're like, and nothing. So then you load this huge thing yourself, you've picked through it, or I think their business model is just like eventually they'll just get tired of it. They'll just eventually take this crap too, and you get tired depending on what you're getting, and then you go to the front and you got to push this whole thing. So it's a real pain. And the local lumberyard is not like that, which is way better.
Our guys do a great job of helping getting stuff loaded up and getting things banded up where it needs to be. And, we don't want your mom coming there and giving us a bad name about your nose hurting or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that story. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? I bumped your nose and now you're about.
I mean, I'm very proud of our yard staff and office staff for how they help out. I mean, they are genuine and try to get people the right stuff, as quickly as we can. And we don't want to be that unfriendly, like, hey, I know we've talked for 30 seconds, but get in your truck and get out of the way.
Yeah.
But in fairness to a lot of the, homeowners or that kind of thing, when you got contractors there, I mean, we don't really want to shoot the breeze with those guys for 20 minutes. Somebody's probably paying by the hour for that.
Yeah, right. So good point.
Load up and say, hey, we appreciate it and thanks. And
get out of here. Get to work.
You got something to do, don't you?
You don't need. If I see you back here 3 times, I'm going to tell Mrs. Johnson that you're driving around all the time,
Yeah.
Thinking ahead, that's a big part of it. The plan for contractors is ideally, you know what you need, and you should be able to place your order and have 95% of it right, so that you can build that project or keep your workers going on that project, even if you do need to get something. And so it's not really like a hardware store where you just random on a Saturday, you go, oh, you know what I need, and then run up there. And you do have
a good list, but we got a little bit of hardware stuff.
Yeah.
But most of our stuff is,
our
contractors don't work on the weekend, and so we're not open on Saturdays, which our employees love, and we do. But if you said, hey, I gotta have 30 sheets OSB, we can set it out back on the rack and you can come grab it or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a hometown experience, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have that. What about regulations? Like, is the lumberyard
Rules don't apply.
rules don't apply to you? I know
Right,
how that
personally.
works. Yeah, personally. But you talk about like the being an employer, and you've got your staff and things like that. Same thing with contractors. They have, at least you have the benefit of, for the most part, working inside. I mean, you've got a nice, I would say, mostly indoor lumber. Everything's inside, actually. He's not storing
It's
anything
not all
outside.
heated and cold.
Yeah, but
it's nice.
Oh, I know. I've bent metal, and it feels like, I felt this is a little chillier than I expected up here, and I'm bending aluminum, but that worked out great. So you have that break up there, but if you're a contractor, as you well know, I mean, you're kind of at the mercy of weather a lot, and you want to be inside when the weather's bad, but if you're building something and there's going to be mud, there's going to be rain, the job still has to go on,
Yep. Well, they got 4 or 5 employees, and so it's like, well, you can't just send these guys home today, or
Right.
I would say most of the contractors, if you got an employee there, if they're working, they're getting paid. If they're not working, they're not getting paid. And well, they can do that so long before you can't buy beer and cigarettes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And when I worked in construction a little bit, back in the day, and
What's the day?
the day for me was, I
After high school?
I worked right after high school, I worked for Hollins,
Okay.
lowest man on the totem pole on a concrete crew for building hog confinement buildings.
You're a wire tire, huh?
I was, and a wire tire and a knuckle busting, knock the whatever those metal things are that held the pans on. I got pretty good at that, and I also learned that summer a lot. I learned a lot, but I also learned some things about my life. That I was going to go to college. I was going
You're going to learn some things.
I was going to keep on keeping on, maybe in a different capacity. But I just loved that. I did love the outdoor aspect of it. I liked working with my hands. I liked doing something, and you can accomplish. Like, I still can drive by. It's Vermonix down there. I don't know if it's still Vermonix, but like back down toward west of Garner. I don't know where exactly it is. Hayfield area, I suppose. Yeah, and we built those.
Okay.
Holland built those. I was there, man. I was there. So then I went from that to the Army after college. So I worked for Hollins for a couple of summers while I was in college, and then went to the Army. And then after I got back, eventually I went to the cities and learned how to sell home improvement projects. So windows and sidings and 3Cs and porches and things like that, roofs and whatnot. So learned kind of the terminology, and then got to know a lot of the crew. I preferred to hang out with a lot of the crew guys more than the smarmy sales guys all the time, And I was a pretty good salesman. I learned a lot in those 3 years that I was doing that, and between Minneapolis and Duluth and the Twins and Wisconsin and whatever. And then I was like everybody else in their mid to late 20s, like, I could probably do this on my own, and I'll do it a lot better, I'll tell you that. And, man, so I was in the contracting business for about, let's see, 4 years. And one of those years was, Operation Noble Eagle. So I was going and my crew that I trusted, apparently were also apparently they weren't making enough money building garages and whatever we were doing. So they were also, selling meth or something like that, which was really had nothing to do with me. I was out serving my country in another spot of the, and
They're just trying to make a living.
yeah, they stole all my tools, and then that was all confiscated when they got busted for evidence, which I'm pretty sure is like in some deputy's garage now. This Milwaukee skill saw's coming. Well, that's 2 different companies, but what a circular saw's coming in pretty handy. I'm not putting that on any deputy. 25 years ago, but that was my experience. That was my run with contracting, and I got to a point where I felt like I could stay ahead of, bidding out my own jobs and staying kind of in a niche, just exteriors and kind of what easier stuff for me, but also do the work. And that's the trick. I think that's what stymies people is they're like, I can just do this myself, and then I'm not paying all of this cost to have labor, except if you keep selling jobs and you can keep the labor moving, you make a lot more money. And so then the opportunity to become a recruiter full time happened. I was like, this is the easiest job I've ever had.
Yeah. Do anything, just keep paying me.
I get to work inside all the time, and I got air conditioning. You give me a car and a phone, and I get 30 days off. Okay, I'll do that. You know,
Do you have to actually recruit people to get paid, or
yeah, no, you didn't. It wasn't like commission.
the weather?
Yeah, that 100% commission job, like that was the sales job up in the Twin Cities. So you had to sell, you know, or else you're not getting paid. And I learned that pretty. And then I was like, well, recruiting, you just had to put 2 in a month. So I'm like, how hard can that be? You know, you work ahead a little bit and you get done. You know, they don't give you more money for putting in more people. So it's the government, you know.
Get my minimum and I'll be good.
Yeah. So that's why I still like to build stuff. And
So did you do that as a kid? I mean, on the farm and stuff like that? Did you?
my dad was always building stuff. He was
All the farmers know how to be a contractor.
They all do. And they all have like a lot of contractor equipment.
Yeah.
You got a backhoe, a bulldozer, you know, your tractors, skid loaders, you know.
They don't have it, the neighbor does.
Yeah. And you learn how to use it all, which is awesome. And farm kids can drive anything, you know. Farmers are funny because they'll tell themselves is like, listen, I'm going to need this, like, I don't mean like the tractor backhoe like my dad has. Like they need the full on Komatsu Gigantor to fix terraces and various sundry things like that.
I got a tile that's bad down on the back 40 and we're going to take care of that.
And who doesn't want to go play with a giant backhoe, you know?
It's a $150,000 piece of
Oh
equipment.
my gosh. Used. Yeah, right?
$1,000 problem.
So it's, they all have it and it's fun. And then he was always, and I won't say never, we rarely hired contractors to do the work. When I was a kid, we built an addition on the house and had John Hill come out and did great work for us.
He's been at Lumberyard, J.A. Hill, right?
John Hill, yeah, J.A. Hill. He is I think he's 900 years old now. He's really been around a long time and just keeps building and does good work. You know, he's a carpenter. I was never a carpenter. I'm getting there, but now I'm not doing it for anybody else, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, as a kid for us, I mean, my grandpa was a contractor.
Okay.
Per se. I mean, he farmed up to, and then he retired early and probably in his middle 50s, I think, when my dad and Uncle Doug kind of took over farm stuff. And then he moved to town, and I always remember him being, you know, contractor or carpenter, he always called himself. And I mean, even like as 12, 13-year-old, he'd like send me down in somebody's crawl space and hook a rope on my foot. And grab this wire when you get down to that end, and then he'd pull me back out.
Nice.
You know, that kind of thing.
Oh, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a new game we've got.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But I remember one time they were doing the hotel in Garner there. They were converting it to apartments. So I'm 9 or 10 years old helping him. And I helped him drywall the interior of several rooms there. I mean, I was there for probably 30 or 40 hours a couple, 3 weeks. And he's like, I asked Pete Shire for $30 for you. And I thought I was on top of the world.
Oh, yeah.
So I got $30 pay for being there for 40 hours probably or something like that. But I got to work with Grandpa and it was great. And I learned how to do a ton of stuff that, I don't know. He was 50 years older than me, but it was just like he was, you know, a great mentor and buddy and whatever. He taught me a ton of woodworking stuff, and he had a shop. And
they really take pride in it.
Yeah,
I like that. I think the listeners know, you know, that, I mean, I like that kind of lifestyle. Like you're being useful, you're building something. You're maybe not a craftsman yet, but how do you become a craftsman? You just got to keep
trying,
you know, putting your hand to the, you know, work and figure it out. And everything is a learning experience. So I like that. And there was a class of men that maybe, I don't know if it was more, I don't want to romanticize it, but it seems like you just did, you hard labor wasn't a bad thing, you know,
right.
and you can take pride in building something. You could drive through town and go, built that house, I can't say that I didn't build houses, but I can go through town and around the area and go, I sided that house, placed the windows over there, did that roof, you know, or whatever.
And going to the Army.
Talk that guy over there talked him into going to the Army. Yeah. He didn't make it through basic training. Then that kid over there. Yeah, those are different stories, right? But but I thought you had, did you work like at the school too at some point? Did you have industrial arts or something? Or is that what you went to?
I went to Nyack.
Yeah.
Right on plan. I went to Nyack after high school. Went to 2 years or 2.5 years at UNI, and then graduated with an industrial technology degree.
Okay.
So teaching.
Yeah.
And I had a job before I student taught at Northwood.
Yeah.
I taught there for a year and a half. Started mid-year. And but after that first full year, I was kind of like, man, I could make a ton of money doing construction.
Yeah, right.
So I was doing that in the summers to supplement my $28,000 teacher salary.
Yeah.
And then I decided we'd do that. And so my wife and I, we were married probably right before I started teaching. So we were senior in college, or I was.
Okay.
She was already graduated. So we lived in married student housing our last year. Thought that'd get me a bunch of financial aid. It didn't give me anything. But,
It didn't work out. Denise, this was a mistake. Yeah. This financial
30 years. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Congratulations. That's
some
awesome.
bets if anybody talked to me 30
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago and said, hey, you think you can
Heck
be
yeah.
here for 30 years? But anyway, the teaching thing I thought was great. And, I love most of the kids, but it was kind of the whole, I mean, if I could pick 60% of them that wanted to learn and loved to pick up the trades and do all the stuff that, shop kids do,
Yeah.
that'd be great. But then the other ones that were there for whatever reason,
Times.
and those are irritating. So
Yeah.
that coupled with wages were pretty poor, and we were pretty committed to living in Garner. My wife grew up in Garner. I grew up in Garner, and
Right.
tons of family there. And so I drove back and forth to Northwood.
It's a bit of a drive.
45-minute drive every day. And
Yeah.
you start justifying, like, there's a ton of stuff I could be doing in this 45 minutes besides staring at I-35.
Now, but Garner, Hayfield, Ventura, they had a program. I don't know if they still do it, but I believe they have a pretty strong building trades or industrial arts type. I don't know if that's what it's even called now, but it was called industrial arts when I was in school. But they used to build houses and stuff too, and they'd take them a year to build a house or whatever, and they'd obviously have contractors do some of the work.
That first house.
You did?
I student taught.
You did?
When they were doing that house, and then I bought that house for $79,900.
Did they do a good job?
I call it a brand new fixer-upper.
A brand new fix. Okay, yeah.
So it had 3 or 4 water leaks. It had a couple of this and a couple of that problems. But in general, it was a great house. I mean, it was 2x6 walls and Anderson windows and all the things that everybody kind of said, hey, these are great houses.
Yeah.
And it served us well. We lived there for 3 or 4 years. And then my wife and I, committed to doing construction. And then we skipped around every 2 years to a different house kind of thing. And so, I don't know, at one point my daughter was 9 years old and she's telling people at school, she's like, I've lived in 9 houses. Well, because you'd move out of this and you'd be in a rental for 6 months while we try to get this other spec house that we were going to sell. Now we're going to move into.
Yeah.
And so there was some good and bad times with that. And it always worked out well. I mean, I think we built, 10 or 12 quality houses in Garner that people love to have. But now I look back and go, man, that was a pretty big risk. If one of those wouldn't have sold for 6 months or a year or something like that, I mean, that's pretty hard on a 25-year-old or 20-year-old or whatever. So still young enough, I could have caught back up. But
wow.
Anyway, it always worked out good. I built a house for superintendent, and I built one for my parents and a couple other people that, in town there that were, nice houses. And we competed against other builders and got the jobs and did them a good job. And that was great, but that kind of got to be a grind too. At some point, you're always working on somebody else's project, and then, hey, while you're here, they want you to do this and this. And like, I get that, but somebody else is already mad at me because I'm 2 weeks behind when I promised them I'd start.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it just got to be that, or it was, because, on a new house, you tell the guys in the morning, you're like, I think this will be the last week we'll be at this and we'll get this all done. And then a week later, they're like, hey, you said last week you thought we'd be done here. And I'm like, well, we get the soffit done and this done and that done. And then that's going to be the,
Yeah.
And so it's tough to schedule and figure those things out. And
it's hard to, it's really, there's some method to the madness of estimating what you're going to need to order for materials. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. What I'm not good at all is estimating the time it'll take to complete the task at hand. And my kids know that about me. If dad says it's going to take 2 hours, just plan on being there for 4 or 5, because he's either it's going to take longer than he thinks, or he's going to find something else to do in the meantime that also needs to be done. And that was the hard part for me when I was a tiny, contractor, just estimating the timeline that it would take to finish something. Because in my head, I was like, that's probably a couple of weeks. And I was way off.
Well, almost every morning I'd get together with the guys and I'd say, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And we're going to do this today or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then kid that's a year younger than me, Kelly Jewell, and he's teaching now, but he raised his hand and he goes, hey, do you ever want to kill yourself? I said,
What
does that have to do with anything here? And he's like, we've never once completed what you say we're going to get done in a day. He goes, whatever you say you're getting done here, we've never once gotten that done. I'm like, well, I'm not going to set up a low standard for you and go, you're done by noon kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so this is all things I hoped we'd get done today, but yeah, you're right. We didn't get it done today and we'll do it tomorrow.
We should have been able to, but you guys suck.
Yeah, worked a little harder.
If you guys were doing your job a little better, we'd be, all right.
If I was supervising a little more than driving around, maybe
that's right.
Too.
Well, and if nothing else, I know that contracting for me was a great opportunity to get all the tools that I needed to get.
So you could justify it too, like,
yeah,
I've got to have this Milwaukee track saw.
This going to make this job go so much smoother, and then I'll have it. It'll pay for itself, and then if we say, I'm out of business in like 3 years, so it's like it doesn't really pay for itself for the times you use it, but I still have it, exactly. Whatever it happens to be, and
whatever didn't get stolen.
That correct, yeah, after the noble.
You go buy it at the pawn shop.
Yeah. Maybe, yes, or evidence room somewhere. Yeah, that was an interesting time in my life, and that was, but it was very, very good as far as I felt like the work was good, and you have to take pride in what you do and all of that, and still feel like that's the standard, and can never be accused of underbuilding something that's probably overbuilt, which is, I don't care. I don't think you need 2x6 construction on a hen house, but I did, and it's not blowing down.
It'll be solid.
That's the idea. It should be there for 100 years. You're not just, I know what I was going to say. When you saw it, you talked about the students that were interested in actually, that you were teaching, that were actually interested in the building trades and whatnot, and then the ones that weren't. But the ones that are interested, and that includes like over at NIAC and various, they want to be contractors. And is it true that when I would talk to them for joining the National Guard, for example, what they really wanted was the truck, the brand new truck, the trailer, the tools, the company, being their own boss, but they had no business acumen whatsoever. Was that something that
I would say that
you had to learn that?
It happens a lot with, you're either great at business or you're great at the trades.
Yeah.
And I'm not that good at business. I'll give you that. I don't know. If somebody's talking about EBITDA or blah, 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 those are things that are over my head. My wife takes on a lot of that role, and we've got tax people and stuff that help us with that. But I can sell something. I can build something.
Yeah.
And I can help people do it. Our contractors know what they're doing, but they'll ask advice and opinions on, hey, would you do it this way? Or how would you flash this in this situation?
You have to ask them what they're doing, right? Sometimes.
Yeah. And that's tough to gain that trust with the old builders for sure. Sometimes they're like, what are you going to? There's a little priest,
what are you going to teach
old.
me?
He doesn't know what he's doing. I've been doing this for longer and he's been alive.
That's right.
And eventually you had people talking to you like, hey, what about this? Or how do you, and so that was awesome to get to that point.
Mm-hmm. And there's always new material.
Yes. And
there's always new products.
it is to the point of irritation. Sometimes people come in and they're like, "Hey, I've been looking online, and what's this this kind of siding or that kind of siding or this decking?" And I'm like, I don't know about that, and it's tough to sell some if you don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you got to keep educated on that. When people come in and ask about it, you're like, if you don't know, I just say, I will learn everything about this, and I will give you a holler back, or whatever. Because I mean, they know if you don't know,
right?
And I lost a couple jobs back when I first started at Max Yield. I remember going. Somebody came in about some decking or some kind of Trex decking that I didn't know about. And I'm like, I bet we can get that, or, whatever. Like, well, that's real confidence inspiring.
Yeah.
But, now if you come in, I mean, our staff knows, I know, we can talk, intelligently about Trex decking and railing and what we need, and siding and
features, advantages, and benefits of your product versus maybe some of the others that are out there. I imagine there's huge trade shows. Do you ever go to those? Have you ever been to
our vendors have them?
Vendors have them.
There's and it's only representing their product, so it's kind of a little bit one sided or whatever. There is definitely international builder shows and stuff like that. I've never attended those, but a couple of guys that have, they're like, "Man, you come back and you couldn't build a house for less than $2 million with all the stuff they got there." And I'm like, "Well, you don't have to have a shower that turns on and cycles through different water temperatures and whatever for you. I mean, you can actually just turn it on with a valve."
What's the deal with all of so like when I see new construction houses, being built and apartment buildings, there's like green, it's like a green OSB. I don't even know what it is, or maybe it's a green.
So when we built the event center here 2 years ago,
good way to segue.
This big segue into this new business I'm trying to do. So we built an event center. My son-in-law, brother-in-law, and then my cousin Brad Upmeyer, Hardcore Construction. Mm-hmm. We tackled it's like a 10,000 square foot building or whatever,
big building,
and but zip wall is what that is, and so it's got a Tyvek coating on there for easiest way to talk about it. I mean, so that coating on the outside does not need a vapor barrier on it. But you have to tape it all.
Okay, yeah.
So you tape every seam, and then if the nails aren't perfectly set, you tape those. And we did it on the roof as well. You tape that. It's more commercial than anything. Or if you're like at a lake house and they're worried about Tyvek blowing off or that kind of thing. I personally don't think it's anything much better than putting Tyvek on regular OSB. I mean, I don't think it's like far and above that. Everybody's like, "Well, you don't have to put Tyvek on." I'm like, "Yeah, but you got to roll this tape on there that takes forever."
Yeah, putsy.
My son-in-law put 15 miles of tape on that building that summer, just getting it all taped down. And then after you run the tape down, then you have to run a roller over it that says zip, it prints a little zip on every one of those. So that way, if there's ever a warranty issue, they can go, "Well, yes, it was rolled," because it has the little Z or zip on that roller. And so it's a product that, I mean, all the commercial guys are, I mean, that probably exclusively, they won't use Tyvek or whatever. They're going to use that paper that.
Well, it is. I mean, Tyvek is a bit of a hassle. I mean, it's a big, 9-foot rolls or whatever. And then you got to, you're
stapling. You still got to tape and do the right things there.
Yeah.
But I would say most of our guys are going to do, I mean, we've sold zip this year, but not.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple hundred sheets, not, I mean, sold hundreds and hundreds of sheets OSB.
But you used it on your commercial building.
Just, kind of see how it worked. I mean, you can also get it with a foam back on there or whatever. So, I mean, if you want some R value or whatever, like our tall walls on our Hearthstone room, or our Sunset room are 18-foot tall where the receptions and stuff are at. And so we had LVL studs in there, and some places engineering called out to have like a 4-ply or a 5-ply, 5.5 by 1 3/4 LVL stud. Well, there's not much insulation value in that. And so then we put sheeting that already had 1.5 inch foam on the backside of it.
Okay.
So it looks like regular OSB on our outside, and it flashes and tapes and everything like that.
But
it's like it, but we got foam on the inside to give some more value.
So you made this event center, and that's been going now for a year at least.
May of last year, my son and daughter-in-law got married there.
That was the first event at the event. What's the event center called? Because it's not the event center.
Celebrations.
Up the number 4 celebrations. Yeah.
So 4 Upmeyers, Nicole, Jordan, Denise, and Adam. Up 4.
Get it?
Celebrations.
Now I understand. Thanks for explaining that. I drive by, I check it out.
Like, why would he call it
up
that?
For celebrations? Well, we're all up for celebrations. Yeah, that's perfect. And you've got a little pond back there.
Yep.
And
put a little water fountain back there. Yep. Try to keep the muck out of there, but it's lighted and looks cute. And we just had a wedding last night, and they had a wedding we got a turf area out there, and 320 people, I think, or so at that wedding.
Wow. So it's a wedding venue. It can be whatever you want it to be. Any event. I mean,
we've got a couple
any
Christmas
celebration. You're up for it.
We're up.
We're
up for somebody being there.
Keep this thing booked, people. Yeah.
It's not a cheap thing. I mean, but it offers a bridal suite and a groom's lounge upstairs, so people can get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the whole. You want to get there for the day and spend your whole day there getting ready and taking pictures. And we got a ceremony room. If you want to get married there's a fireplace and a cross hanging up there. So people like that. It's not a church, obviously, but it kind of gives you that church feel a little bit.
Sure,
hey, we still like God here.
Yeah, still like God. Okay. That's good.
If you want to go outside on the turf, you can face the pond. You can face the building, whatever you want to do there. There's a turf area with sidewalk around it. So if they're really wanting an outside wedding, they can do that. If we got a rain day, we can move into the Hearthstone room. And we'll set up chairs, we'll set up tables, and then we got a separate area that's I don't know how big that room is, but we set 320 people in there, 330 people in there if we have to.
Wow.
At round tables. So there's 8 at a table, and then we got a full bar, liquor license, kitchen area back there that we don't do the catering, but they can do their own. They can bring a caterer in.
So who was behind that idea?
I'm blaming my wife.
Okay.
I mean, she kind of most ideas that she wants to get accomplished. She starts off with kind of like, that'd be kind of cool, or wouldn't that be something? And then I start drawing something.
Yeah, I could build that.
I'm like, we could build that.
That's
no problem.
And then all of a sudden, I know the feeling.
All of a sudden, we're at the bank going, hey, we're 80% done with this, but we're going to need some more money.
Yeah.
And they're like, and she's panicking. And I said, well, what are they going to do? They've loaned us this money so far. I mean, they're going to have to give us the rest of it. We can't stop now.
Right.
And so it's gone well.
That's great. You had said that
16 events booked for this year.
That's good.
And a few going for 26 already here.
That's good. Yeah.
Not all weddings. I mean, we've had a Rotary there and a couple chamber events, that kind of thing. We got a couple Christmas parties booked. And so they're not all the same price. I mean, if you go on our Facebook or website, you can see pricing and some pictures and amenities and whatever we got.
So again, do you have to go to like bridal shows and things like that, or we've gotten involved in some of that. I think my wife's talking about doing a bridal show this winter. Yeah.
And there's a gal she works with in Nevada, actually.
Yeah.
Something Blue. And they do a great job for decorating, and they've got wedding dresses and blah, blah, blah. So she's worked well with those guys. We've got, it always seems like a different DJ, different caterer, different whatever. And any of those people are welcome at our place.
Yeah.
So we don't have like, you got to use this DJ or you got to use this caterer. We don't care.
Yeah.
We'd like you to drink our liquor.
Yeah.
That'd be
that's the business.
That's their,
rent the space
and have an open bar,
have a good time.
And we've had people that don't use the bar at all, and we don't. Our goal would be to have the bar open, but if somebody's having a wedding and they're
one of those
minors, or they don't want to have, that's fine too. We'll work whatever.
No, another one of these.
Nah, it ain't that bad.
No, I think that's very interesting, because that is it's an interesting industry, isn't it? Because there are a handful of them around, even in this rural area in which we occupy. I know there's a place up in Joyce. There's somewhere over by Manly. There's different places that are their event that they're doing the wedding thing, and they command a good amount. It's a lot of work. I don't begrudge anybody for whatever events are. People asked the chamber director, not my sister-in-law, the former chamber director before my sister-in-law became the former chamber director. She asked if we wanted to be listed in their book, their 4-city book, as an event center when we built this barn. And I was like, no. No, thank you.
It's it's a lot different than it looks on the outside. I mean, my wife has a huge interest in taking care of, making things as perfect as they can be. And I get that. We want that. And we've professed that the whole time. It's like, we want this bridal suite to be perfect. We want the groom's lounge to be just like it needs to be. We want tables and tablecloths exactly like they are. And this is a group thing with me and her. We want it that way. Yeah. And when they have people help set up tables or chairs, they're like, oh, that's close enough. I'm like, we're actually going to get a string line out here and string line these. And we got a board that sets up till we get them spaced right.
Yeah.
Seems a little out of control, but when you take pictures and look at it, you're like, wow.
That's why you do it. Yeah, that's great. That is awesome. And that attention to detail makes, it's across the board, literally, with the lumber yard, right? It is.
It's like a disease, or something. I don't know.
Straight lumber, good quality products, good customer service, and that applies to what you're doing with the Up for Celebration too, and just always going. Like, you've always got something going on. You were saying, and it's like, this event center is probably going to be my retirement gig or whatever. And it's like, we'll see. I bet you'll be finding more things to do.
Well, yeah, we're actively trying to sell the lumberyard right now, which sounds kind of crazy to people, but we do want it to stay as a lumberyard and be a lumberyard. Yeah. So it's not, our goal is not to, have an auction and sell everything off, because I feel like in most small towns like that, if something goes away, it probably doesn't come back, so
it's really hard to get them back, isn't it?
When 4-City closed their, I think it was Spawn and Rose when they pulled out of there.
That's what it was.
We had some, I don't know if it was council people or prominent people or, prominent like Troy Thompson kind of people in the world.
Depends on.
Come out and talk to me in Garner, and they're like, hey, would you open a satellite location in 4-City? And I'm like, we were doing well at that point, and it was like, I don't know that I want to,
2 locations.
This to go 12 miles from me. I'm like, hey, we'll take good care of 4-City. And we do take good care of 4-City, I think. we've, there's J&B Remodeling up here and Don Chi Construction, and those guys that are pretty faithful to us. And I like to think that they tell everybody that we do a good job, and we serve them as best we can. And I don't think, it's unhandy for them if they need 3 2x4s or whatever. We're 12 miles and you've got that figured out. But it would be tough for us to say, hey, another location 12 miles from us would make sense with another 4x4, another yard, another whatever. And
it's not like where that lumberyard was, it was still outside of town. It was closer to Garner than, than I am. Maybe not quite that bad, but it was something when it closed. But I think that there's just I don't know what it is. More people continue to live in the suburbs. Suburbs demand stores like the box stores, and people have an expectation of that type of. It's a full shopping experience. It's not like a small town lumberyard that's a contractor's hangout. They're not hanging out there, they're working, but like they're going to go in, they're going to be able to talk to you and get what they need to do. If you go to the contractor desk at, say, like Home Depot or Menards, for example, I don't have the utmost confidence that I'm talking to an Adam Upmeyer at the contractor desk at Menards. Nothing against the guys that are there or anything like that, but they don't care about.
There's some pretty smart 14-year-olds.
Hey. They're not giving you. Not that they can't give you advice, but they're not giving you the tenured advice like what you've got. And so for a guy like me, I'm like, well, let me tell you what I'm doing, and then you can tell me why I should not be doing this and I should be doing, something or using something else instead. And I appreciate that. That's how I get to, when I did my mother-in-law's deck and built that monstrosity for a summer or two ago. I guess it's 2 summers now. So whenever I did that, and that product, whatever that was pretty cool. And I learned how to work with that, and it's been great. It's been a great product. So all of that stuff is. So do people, when they move into they get into the big cities, as I finish my thought, they're into the suburbs or whatever, and they're expecting that. It's just like it changes the dynamic of. That was my problem. It changes the dynamic of what that initial business was. And so, for example, I went to Tractor Supply thinking I will get number 9 wire because what I needed when I needed it was not present, and that's a very farm thing to have number 9 wire. And they didn't have it. And I talked to I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I talked to it was an old guy at the counter, like old guy, way older than us. And I was like, can't believe you didn't have number 9 wire. And he's like, we don't have number 9 wire? Well, it's a staple. And I'm like, I know, right? But you do have a lot of dog food. It's like a pet store now. And I'm like, I know they have a new building and it's all that. That was the first time I'd been in there, and I was just looking for number 9. You don't happen to have number 9 wire, do you?
We may have number 9 wire, actually.
I wasn't
12.
I wasn't holding.
And number 9.
I wasn't holding out hope that
might have been on a Saturday when we were, off doing.
Oh, it was a long. Whoever's buying the number 9 wire, by the way, is probably the same old lady that's buying the dang cucumber crisp. You can't find any pickle crisp in North Iowa. It's some old church lady. I don't know who you are.
The number 9 wire issue is people like cattle people like you now,
that
are trying to tie a gate there that really should just fix it like it's supposed to be. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but that's correct. I'm putting the gates on
that chain and do that like it should be. Let's just wrap number 9 wire around there and hope these cattle don't push through.
I put a lot of wire on a gate just to make sure that I don't have to chase any cows where they're not supposed to.
Have we got that call yet?
No, I hope I never do.
We're out.
I suppose it'll happen sometime, but I hope it doesn't happen right now. In fact, it would if I let them into where I got the cows. Planning on going because that fence is not complete. So I've
let them out yet.
I have not. No, they're not in that spot. I'm looking forward to it though. So I always enjoy our conversations because when I do go down and you have a little bit of time, I'm not a contractor, so I'm not on the clock. If I stop in and we chat for a little bit, it's kind of this is a long. I don't sit here for an hour, and do that. But I wanted people to just get a feel for like what it was, what's the small town lumberyard business like? What's it like to have the event center and just be a part of the community in a variety of ways? Everybody knows who you are because you're the guy at the lumberyard.
Yeah. For us, I guess, people come in and they've either got their mind made up or they know that they want something, but they don't know exactly what it is. And we're willing to help with both. So if they come in and they say they want Trex Transcend, Rocky Harbor or whatever they want for decking or railing or whatever, it's like, hey, we'll sell you that. I mean, they've done their research and they know what they got. So at that point, I mean, I kind of look like, well, we're kind of an order taker instead of a salesperson, but we'll take it, Or if they come in here and say, what's the difference in this decking and that decking, or why do I want to do this? Or if I was going to side my house, why should I do pre-finished instead of primed? Or, what is it? And I don't really want to push them one direction or the other, but I want to make sure that later somebody doesn't go, man, it sure would have been nice if you'd have told me that pre-finished stuff was there and that I could have done that.
Used that information 6 months ago. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I don't want people to come back and say that, but I also don't want people to think, we're pushing for something else. And
is it primarily men that you're dealing with?
I would say no. I mean,
okay.
A lot of times we'll get couples come in there, and so we get 3 or 4 people, contractor, husband and wife are in my office, and we're talking about, we got onyx showers, or we got interior cabinetry, or whatever. And those details they all want to be involved in. I want them there. I mean, because I don't want later to go, why do we pick this or why do we pick that? Like they help pick this. I mean, that's why they want that. And
I would never pick decor
on your own.
No, I wouldn't. I've learned that I'm gonna be just off enough to be wrong.
Well, and when you let them pick it, then it looks good.
They look great.
Job.
Yeah, I have an eye for it.
Right.
I've never been disappointed in how it turns out.
Probably go pick out the pickup you want at the car lot.
I can do that.
I like that one.
There are things I can pick out, but when it comes to decor and the design, the problem with that is, as you probably have experienced many times with all these customers, and then even in your own marriage, that when people come by and they see the finished product of what you built, what they're seeing is the decor, the colors, the paint.
Nothing to do with the framing.
Nothing to do. They have no idea how straight your walls are, how much you've done, and what they don't understand where the electric is running through, and none of that, and the plumbing. Nothing you did is seen, and so everything that they see, they go, "Oh, you did such a great job with this place." And like, yeah, and I mean, you don't even know the half of it, but yeah,
we've had people come in like, they got a whole house plan here. We're thumbing through it. And I'm like, hey, so we're going through to get a quote together. And like, you want 2x6 walls? You want what kind of windows? What do you want for interior doors? How are you going to finish the basement? Are we going to put foam on the walls? Are we going to, whatever, go through the whole thing? And one of the two, I'm not saying husband or wife, but somebody has kind of been not talking about any of that. They don't care. Mm-hmm. And then we get to the front page and they're like, I really want this to be shakes in this peak part right here instead of that. And like, that is the last thing we need to know right now. I mean,
yeah.
So but I want to write it down and make sure, that was important to them.
That's right. So
you're like, all these things are important to our quote right now. And that the shakes and the regular siding are pretty much the same thing.
That's right.
Shakes cost a little more, but
yeah.
It's pretty irrelevant in the whole thing, but that was, their focus the whole time when we're talking, their mouth is shut and like, this is what I want to make sure you get down, make sure you write this down.
That has Instagram, for example, I call them like the Instagram designers. Like, so my wife is one of them and she does a great job, but she'll collect, I don't know, she finds the time to peruse a zillion Instagram pics and she'll make her own file of say a bathroom or of whatever.
That's amazing, actually. When they get there,
probably like, super helpful.
They're texting your email, and you're like, "Hey," I said, "Text me those pictures. I want to see those." Or email them, or however they want. When Dr. Maurer and Maurer built their house here, back in Garner, Dr. Amy was on House all the time, and she would send me like links of she likes this or she likes that. And now even once in a while I get them now. It's like Amy's looking at whatever. And I'm like, that house was 5 years ago or 8 years ago. And she still got me on the list somehow of I get her email when she makes a like on House or whatever.
Oh, really?
She's kind of entertaining.
You're like part of the newsletter.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, that's good because people, I try to explain what I'm doing. Maybe I'll bring a picture, but not very often. Well, I mean, some of the stuff that I built, I did send you, hey, this is what I'm doing. But yeah, I suppose all that design stuff, that does really help. Yeah.
Well, we just want people to know, if you know what you're doing, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, we'll send you 2x6s if that's what you ask for, but
yeah,
I would like to, if somebody's designing a deck and they think they want to do 2x6s or they don't want it to be treated, I'm like, why are you not doing treated?
Yeah,
is this that'd in your garage or where's this at? If it's inside or something.
Yeah, no worries.
It's odd, but I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
but I don't want to lead people down a bad path.
No, that's probably good because I don't know if they'll ever blame you, but they would, if you can prevent that disaster down the road, that's a good thing. For instance, let's say you were building a corner on a garage and you shot yourself through the arm with a nail gun. Did you ever see that video that I made?
Or drop OSB on your head or something.
OSB on my head, yeah. Oh my gosh, I should be wearing a hard hat most of the time than I do anything. Yeah.
Your wife probably put you in a bubble at some point. So
it'd be I don't know. Sometimes I think she makes make sure that I'm just see what happens. What it drops on his head this time? How does it go? It's been
got life insurance updated.
It's I'm sure it's some value, and I like lots of projects. We've got lots of things going. I feel like the number one thing that people complain about with the contractors is that they job hop. And I feel like I'm job hopping on my own jobs, like I'm working on this fence, but then I got this chicken house over here. And, oh, that's right. The place in town, still working on that basement. That's been on pause for like 2 months or whatever. So just a million things going on. And I am very glad and confident that I can just, text or call and say, hey, this is what I'm going to need. And I feel like if I'm mature enough to think it through and give you some lead time, which doesn't even have to be, it can be the same day as it has been in the past, but, I might say I just need it sometime next week, whatever works for you guys. That's what I can do. And that's the benefit of having a good small town company.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Especially ones that listen.
Once in a while.
That's
Sometimes
awesome.
you're like texting me back going, hey, did you get that order?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Call me back.
I always get it. Yeah, it always comes out. And it works. It's all bundled very nicely. And you're careful to unload it in the right spot, in the right order, which is a big deal. So I appreciate all of that. Did I miss anything? Did I forget any company or something no,
that's all I got
new business
right
venture? Oh, man. This is good. Way more interesting than if I was just rambling on talking about, like school laws and things like that.
School laws or some politics, something somewhere.
That's right.
Listen to Trump talk about his going to heaven now because he's going to save all these people.
Oh, yeah.
That'll help him.
That's it. I hope he was saying that
Let's have a new
tongue in cheek.
rule or something.
I don't know if that's how you get to heaven, but I don't think that's what.
He's just trying to pad his resume, but I don't think
a little
that's
bit
gonna help.
It might help. Yeah, maybe not. It's hard to say. You did do a good thing. You gave me a hat a few years back that said "Make plywood cheap again," and it was the same color like the Trump hat. And
Got some good traction out of that.
Oh, I still have it. I still wear it, and I forget what I do. See people still double take, just to say, or some people are like, "That's right," and then they're like, "I mean, it's also right." So that was pretty good. That was good marketing on your part. Yeah.
So no, I saw that. I don't know where I stole that from, but it was. I think we ordered 20 hats, and we ordered 20 hats, and we ordered 20 hats.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Hey, you know what those are costing?" And I'm like,
that was like 2020, wasn't it? It was like 2020, 2021 in there when crazy spike in all of the materials. How come they'd never go? Do anything in lumber ever go down in price? Is it like once it achieves
the commodity stuff, like the sheeting and studs and that kind of stuff?
Oh, so it can go down.
But like windows and doors, I don't feel like that stuff ever goes down.
Once they achieve a platform,
there it is. They're buying it. So
yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. It's not like technology where you can buy a VCR and it gets cheaper over time. Mm-hmm.
Nope. And the lumber's, this isn't the quality of lumber that we had 50 years ago, but that's all we got. So
yeah. So I got my own sawmill. See, make my own dimensional lumber out of ash.
Yeah, you got ash trees till the cows come home.
You got ash dimensional lumber, which I don't know how that's going to nail together. We'll see.
That's what our cross is made of at the event center. And we love ash.
Yeah. Baseball bat stuff. Yeah. I do too. I've made some cool stuff with it, and I'll keep plugging away. That's a fun one. But I know you got to get on with things, and I appreciate you coming out, checking out the studio, coming in these vaunted doors that you wondered what was behind here.
I think I sold you that.
You did sell me that door and all the other doors in here, and then you also actually. This studio is, at least these walls here. This studio was Garner Lumber.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Menards.
No, but when it was Garner Lumber, and I framed in the studio, and then it was next to the framing in that came from like the company that
EPS or whatever.
It was EPS, yeah. So they buy huge stocks of lumber, but side by side it was like,
yeah.
It was like years. I mean, it looked like just beautiful. Like I could have just stained it and finished. Just leave it unframed. It would have been a terrible studio. But and the other stuff looked pretty ragged.
When we were having trouble getting lumber in the 2020 kind of time frame or whatever, we sent some lumber to a contractor in Clear Lake, and he said, I need, these 2x6, 104 and 5/8 studs for whatever they're building. And at that point, nobody really cared about the money. I mean, things are going that good and you can't lay people off. And so things cost more and whatever. So it wasn't a money thing, but then he sent me a picture of what he got from another lumber yard in that area. And he's like, they say this is the best they got. And he shows me a picture of the end of that. And I blew that up and it's in my office there. And
nice.
That's the worst looking unit of lumber I've ever seen. And they delivered that to him and said, this is the best we got. And I said, I'll send you a unit over.
There you go.
We had it. And so that kind of stuff's kind of fun if you can keep up with it.
I love it. And that's the message, folks. You gotta have make friends with your lumberyard guy. And Adam Upmeyer and the crew over there, his wife Denise, everybody, they're so friendly and helpful. And if you're looking for an event or you're having an event and you're looking for a place to get hitched or celebrate a big reunion, my great uncle and aunt just celebrated 75 years of marriage.
There should be some awards.
There are some awards, right? And just crazy. So if you're looking for a big celebration, you got to go up for celebrations, and that's down there in Garner too, and all of that stuff. So I'll give you the final word, my friend. You're a Sunnyside of a lot of people's lives, and keeping it in a good keeping business local, doing a good job. What do you have to say for yourself?
A lot of it based on luck, but there's a lot of good people that buy local and take care of local people. And, we've got good community support in Garner for volunteers and fire department and ambulance and all the people that, make that community great. Stellar and IMT and all our local contractors that buy things are a fabulous part of why Garner functions like it does and how it works like it does. And we don't hate Forest City or Clear Lake or Britt or whatever, but I mean, everybody gets along, but there's times when, you can't get something in Forest City. You can't get something in Clear Lake or whatever. And we'd like to help. So if there's people that are not in Garner, but want to kind of venture that way or give us a holler. I would say we're the lowest pressure sales team ever. I mean,
oh yeah,
I give you a window quote and I'm like, here's the story. This is what it costs. And if you want to order these, you got to call me. I'm not calling you in 2 weeks and saying, hey, can we get that window order?
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to hear that from us. So we want to make sure that people are getting what they want. But if they want to call back and come back or whatever, we'll help. If they don't, I get it. So, So no, I appreciate all you do, Troy. And I think you're crazy with all the volunteer and stuff you do. And I hear about what you're doing. I'm like, why would he want to be on that board or do that? Or what? I mean, does he not sleep at night or what, but
I do. Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
6.5 is about it. So 11. I try to I'm in bed I can tell you, I'm in bed early. Like if I can sneak in at 9:30, but I'm probably not sleeping until 10:30 and then up
right
pretty early. Yeah.
Well, you get a lot done.
Never enough, fast enough. That's the way it is. Well, thank you so much for coming out and being a part of the show and making it better with an interview. And I sincerely mean that. It is always better when I've got a guest in the room. That was the premise of the show when we started 3 years ago. Is it 3 years, 4 years now, I guess? And then just say, that we want to find these pursuits that make us happy, which you're obviously doing in this variety of ways. And just our, things that are good. Life, liberty, and the pursuits that make us happy. And the sunny side of life is what that's all about. So thanks for reminding me of that on Monday when I came through. I think it was Monday. And appreciate that.
Yeah,
and
thank you,
now we're doing it. All right. Have a good one.
Every week from here on out, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's not get our hopes. Last week I did my own thing, and I'll probably still do that occasionally if I've really got something important to say. But you've helped me refocus and get.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, thank you.
You bet.
When the shadows fall and doubts begin to creep, remember together we're strong, never weak. Lift your neighbor up with kindness every day. Let your actions speak the words you want to say.
The Sunny Side of Life is a weekly production about our life on the family farmstead here in Iowa, the liberties we prize, and the pursuits which make us happy. None of this is possible, of course, without Christ in our lives. For the Lord God is our sun and our shield. He gives us grace and glory.
Be the sunny side of someone else's life. Share your light and joy through struggle and strife. Keep your heart open and your soul always bright. Together we will share this sunny side life. Be the sunny side of someone else's life. Share your light and joy through struggle and strife. Keep your heart open and your soul always bright. Together we will share this sunny side life.
May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may the sunny side of your life in Christ be made evident unto you each and every day, and give you peace.